You know, when we think about what makes a country powerful, we usually think about things like land, or oil, or armies. But what if I told you the next great global power struggle is already happening, and it's being fought over something you can't even see? It's all about data and the artificial intelligence that controls it. This is the new global race, and believe me, the stakes could not be higher.
And just so you know where we're getting our information, this explainer is from Chapter 12 of the tutorial Introduction to Artificial Intelligence by Virtualization Options LLC. So let's start with a really simple question, but one with massive consequences. Who controls the AI that's increasingly running your world? Because, AI isn't just another gadget on your phone. It's getting woven deep into our economy, our national security, even our culture. So, who holds the keys to all that? It's one of the biggest questions of our time, for sure.
Okay, so to really get our heads around this, we're going to break it down. First, we'll talk about why this new power race is even happening. Then we'll define exactly what sovereign AI is. After that, we'll look at what a country actually needs to build it, see how different nations are doing it, and finally, we'll get into the huge debate this is sparking.
So, why is every country suddenly getting so nervous about this? Well, think about it like this. A nation would never want to be 100% dependent on another country for its food, right, or its water, or its energy. That's a huge strategic risk. Governments are now realizing that AI is becoming just as vital, and relying on foreign tech creates the exact same kind of scary vulnerability.
And that fear, that deep-seated fear of being vulnerable, is pushing countries all over the world toward this big new idea. It's a concept that's right at the heart of our explainer today: sovereign AI.
So what is it really? At its core, sovereign AI is all about a nation's ability to control its own AI destiny. It means having your own computers, your own data, your own algorithms, basically being in the driver's seat of your digital future, all to avoid those strategic risks we just talked about.
And what's so fascinating here are the specific fears that are driving this whole thing. It's not just about classic national security, worrying if a foreign power could shut down your power grid. It's also about economics. What if all the money from this tech revolution flows to just one or two other countries? It's about culture, too, making sure your AI understands local customs and values, not just the ones from, say, Silicon Valley. And of course, it's about privacy and being the one who makes the final call on your own rules.
All right, so let's say a country decides, okay, we're doing this. We want digital self-reliance. What do they actually need to pull it off? Well, you can kind of think of it like a strategic checklist, a list of the absolute must-haves for building your own national AI ecosystem.
Let's run through this checklist. There are basically 6 key things. First, you need control over your own data. That's the fuel for all AI. Next, the raw horsepower. We're talking supercomputers, massive data centers. Then, you need your own algorithms that get your local language and culture. Fourth, you have to have the power to set your own rules for AI, not just follow someone else's. Fifth, you need people, a steady stream of local talent, programmers, researchers, you name it. And finally, you need a strong homegrown AI industry to put it all to work. Now, this isn't just some academic theory. This is happening right now. Major world powers are pouring billions of dollars into making sovereign AI a reality. But here's the interesting part. Not everyone is playing the game the same way. The strategy a nation picks tells you a whole lot about what they really care about.
And this table just lays it out so clearly. You've got the European Union, which is all about ethics and protecting your personal data with laws like GDPR. Then you have China, where making the country an AI leader is a top-down, state-run national mission. The US is kind of doing the opposite, relying on its powerhouse private sector. Think Google, Microsoft, and so on. India is focused on using AI for social good to help its huge, diverse population. And then you have countries in the Middle East investing enormous amounts of money to shift their economies from oil to tech.
So the big takeaway here is that these aren't just technical choices, they're philosophical ones. And this stuff directly impacts you. The EU's approach, for example, is why you see all those accept cookies pop-ups, but it also means your data has stronger legal protections. The US model, on the other hand, is all about innovating fast, which means you might get cool new AI features quicker, but the rules around your data are totally different. Two very different ideas of what AI is actually for.
All of this, all these different strategies and national goals, it all leads to this one fundamental question that's going to define the future of technology for all of us. As nations chase after this goal, are we building digital fences just to keep us safe? Or are we building massive digital walls that are going to divide the whole world?
It's a real dilemma. On one hand, national control gives you obvious wins. Better security, you can protect your local culture, you control your data. But, on the other hand, science has always moved fastest when everyone works together. A world broken up into different AI islands could seriously slow down breakthroughs in things like medicine or climate change that could help everybody. We run the risk of creating a bunch of separate, incompatible AIs instead of one shared global resource.
And that leaves us with the ultimate question. As every nation rushes to build its own AI fortress, are we actually making the world smarter by having all these different approaches? Or are we just breaking apart our shared digital space, creating new divisions, and maybe even slowing down the very progress that could benefit us all? There's no easy answer here, but one thing is absolutely certain: the race is on.